In 1994, the world witnessed one of the most horrific chapters in human history, the Rwandan Genocide. Over the course of just 100 days, an estimated 800,000 people were brutally murdered. But to understand why such unimaginable violence occurred, we must first examine the roots of this conflict. The seeds of the Rwandan Genocide were sown long before the killings began. Under Belgian colonial rule, the population was divided along ethnic lines primarily between the Hutu majority and the Tutsi minority. The Belgians institutionalized these differences, giving preferential treatment to the Tutsis, creating deep resentment among the Hutu population. After Rwanda gained independence in 1962, these tensions escalated and years of political instability followed. In 1990, a civil war broke out between the government, dominated by Hutus, and the Rwandan Patriotic Front, a rebel group made up of Tutsi exiles. The war heightened ethnic tensions, and extremist Hutu leaders began to plot the extermination of the Tutsis, spreading hateful propaganda. The spark came on April 6, 1994, when a plane carrying Rwandan President Juvenal Habyarimana was shot down. Hutu extremists blamed the Tutsis, and the genocide began. From April to July 1994, Rwanda descended into chaos. Ordinary citizens were turned into killers, as Hutu militias, known as the Interahamwe, went from house to house, slaughtering Tutsi men, women, and children. Neighbors killed neighbors, and friends turned against friends. It wasn't just militias. Ordinary Hutu civilians were encouraged to participate in the violence. Those who could fled to refugee camps, but the scale of the massacre was unimaginable. The international community, despite early warnings, did not act swiftly to stop the violence. By the time the Rwandan Patriotic Front captured Kigali and ended the genocide, nearly 1 million lives had been lost. The country was left in ruins, and the scars of this violence are still deeply felt today. The Rwandan Genocide stands as a dark reminder of the destructive power of hatred, division, and inaction. But Rwanda has also become a symbol of resilience. Today, the nation is rebuilding. Survivors and perpetrators alike have engaged in reconciliation efforts through the Gacaca courts. And Rwanda has become a model of post-conflict recovery. From this tragedy, future generations must learn that division based on ethnicity, religion, or race can lead to catastrophic consequences. We must always stand against hate and discrimination, and work towards unity, understanding, and peace. As we reflect on the Rwandan Genocide, we honor the memory of the victims, those whose lives were cut short by senseless violence. Their stories must never be forgotten. The world must remember so that such a tragedy never happens again. Our deepest condolences to the families who lost loved ones in this genocide. May their souls rest in peace, and may Rwanda continue on its path of healing and progress.